Starting a poultry farm almost put him under. And the bad part is, it wasn't even what you would expect. If you're thinking about raising birds for money, you're definitely going to want to watch this.
Then a tornado came through and destroyed my coop.
Oh, my goodness. As we talk through this, we're going to break down what went wrong, things to not do if this is your dream and this is your goal, is to make money raising birds on a farm at any scale. My name's Danny, but everybody knows me as Pace Acre from my social media stuff. And we got Craig Beam with Beam Farm. It's kind of funny, a side note, on my little YouTube video I put up at you, I was calling you Beams Farm and you corrected me. I thought that was kind of funny. So
it's all right. My wife's, my name is Craig, but my wife's grandmother still to this day calls me Greg with a G. And then one day, a few weeks ago, she said, "His name's not Greg. We've been married for 13 years."
Yeah, that's funny. That is funny. So, what is it you do at Beam Farm? What's your specialty over there?
So what we started with is that we actually bought our property. We started looking before we got pregnant with my son. But we knew we wanted children and we knew we didn't want to raise them in the city. So, what we did, we started looking for a property with acreage and a house and everything. And it ended up taking us several years to find that property with acreage and one that we could afford and one we could finance. So it ran into a bunch of different issues. In the meantime, I was going to help my grandfather farm because that's what he did. He did cattle and sheep and goats, chickens, all that stuff. So
okay.
In the meantime, before we found a house, he got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer.
Oh wow!
So he went downhill. It was still a couple of years that he had it, but by the time we had found this house and closed our house and everything, he had no interest or anything in farming anymore. And I'm not sure that he fully planned the same plan that I had, especially since he was getting older. He might have just planned on letting me do it, or that was my anticipations anyways, just mainly for me to do it. Yeah. Because our property, we ended up only being 2 miles apart, but he ended up passing away. So we never pursued anything like that. So during COVID, we noticed that the shelves were empty all the time, and I was like, man, I know how to butcher chickens. I know how to get eggs.
You're right.
Let's try to be more self-sufficient and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so we don't have to worry about grocery stores. I mean, we were talking about putting in bidets because you couldn't get toilet paper.
Oh, I know. It's such a wild time.
I was like, I'll use a washcloth if I got to, whatever. So anyways, my goal is to teach the kids, not only my kids, but the youth of our, the youth of today, that, hey, you don't have to be completely dependent on the stores, and fast food is not always the best food.
Not at all.
So most people don't understand beef prices right now.
Yeah.
So beef prices, we actually, you know what Brahms is?
Right.
The ice cream store.
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
So they were a dairy farm only pretty much in the beginning, and ice cream or whatever. Now they got a full bakery. But I digress on that part. But their bull, if they're calves, when they were calving, if they had bull calves, they used to give them away for free.
Sure. And yeah, so Holstein calves. Yeah, you could get bottle babies for nothing.
Yeah, so we used to have if we had a cow that calved and either was producing too much milk and we didn't want to milk them, or if the calf died or something, then we would go down to Brahms's farm and get a free calf.
Nice.
Well, the auction here lately is baby calves have gone for $2,000 a piece. So
yes, yeah,
and you can't raise that animal for 18 months to 2 years and still be profitable if you start out at a $2,000 profit margin. So that's the price that we're paying right now. And I understand that lots of infrastructure goes in there, but these corporate big heads and everything, the big ag, they don't need to profit as much per head as we do as small time farmers, because we're not high producing it. So that's why, like, the beef that you see on the grocery store can be $10 a pound, when Joe, that only has 50 head of cattle, he can't only make 30 to 50. I think Tyson's profit margin per cattle head is $50. So
yeah, and that's crazy.
So for my people that I know, they need to make at least $500 in profit.
Sure.
So, and that's not even that much to raise something for 2 years to make $500.
No, it's not. The scale you have to be at is crazy. And that's interesting. You said something. You said that you went to around COVID time. So we were in right in the middle of Joplin, Missouri, until right around this time in 2020. So we moved right when COVID was starting. Yeah. We started our homestead journey, and we did not know how perfect of a time it turned out to really be, because it hadn't went plumb crazy yet. Yeah. And we started over here with literally nothing, literally a flat piece of ground on this little 1 acre. That's why the name's Pace Acre, because we only have 1 acre. Yeah. But yeah, man, we do a lot over here with just this 1 little acre. And one of the things is you talk about bottle calves. I'm on my 2nd bottle calf now, and it's because I've got a good relationship with my neighbor. And yeah, so if I had to buy that bottle calf for $2,000, it wouldn't happen, you know. No. So
how much did you pay for it, or did you?
Well, so I did. I traded out some work, and I paid some money for it, but I kind of bartered a little bit for it.
Yeah. Don't tell the IRS.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. They'd have a pretty boring read if they go through my books, I promise you. It's good stuff, though. That's kind of neat that we got similar stories in this far. And I think that's kind of the consensus with a lot of people. They want to get out of the norm. They see, and it's funny, you said you wanted eggs and stuff. How many people, because we're going to jump into it, but I know you're a poultry farmer. Yeah. So how many people have you seen that when you sell them a chick or something, they say, so when am I going to get these eggs from this thing? And you just got to laugh.
Look, my mate, like, piss them off because I'm so blunt and honest. And so, and I don't mean to be that way, but I just don't know how to lie to you, because lying to you doesn't make me feel any better. And I know it might make you feel better, but me being myself, I just can't lie to you about something. So when they're like, oh, I only want to buy pullets, well, so does everybody. Yeah. If I could only have pullets all the time, that would be great for me. Yeah. But like, they come in both genders. Chickens come in both male and female. So, or whatever, hen and roosters. So, unfortunately, I can't sell you all my hens, or I'd be out of business tomorrow.
Right. No, I understand. I mean, as a matter of fact, because we do a very small scale here just for our own use. And I just butchered a bunch of roosters last weekend. I butchered a bunch of roosters because I don't sell them as chicks, for reptile food or anything like that. Yeah. So you raise them up and they end up just hanging out the flock. They get to a point, they start beating up hens, and that's how I single out which ones have got to go, and then they go in the freezer.
then if you're a breeder like me, you'll be like 2 weeks away from separating them and choosing which rooster you want to use, and then that rooster ends up getting taken off by something, and then you're like searching frantically for a rooster and they don't exist around you. That's what I ran into. I had a Buff Orpington, and they had just started laying, and something happened to my rooster and just died. A week into breeding season, and I'm like, oh wow! So
but see, you're doing like purebred. You're wanting to keep, so that makes things a little harder, I'm sure.
So I did last year. We did all barnyard mixes because I was selling them for $1 a piece. Yeah, and I didn't really care, and I ran them around. They all went into the same coop at night, and then they all ran around and free ranged all day. But I realized that, I was probably losing some business because they were like, oh, last year was an egg crisis, remember?
Yes, right.
Okay, so egg prices went up to $10 a dozen at the grocery store. Yeah. So everybody thought it was a good idea to get their own chickens. So what's the first thing you think of when you had chickens? You think, hey, my grandma and my grandpa had chickens, or my mom and dad had chickens. Yeah. So what kind of chickens did they have? Oh, they had white leghorns, or they had Rhode Island Reds. So they would call and say, hey, do you have Rhode Island Reds? No, I do not, because I was mixing everything.
Sure.
And I would have to go into a
yeah, like I used to, because I could turn my camera around. I can point. I've got a Rhode Island Red out here in the yard somewhere. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'd have to explain to them, no, I don't have barnyard mixes. And then they said, oh, well, what's a barnyard mix? And I'll tell them they're a mixed breed of whatever I have. Well, what kind of chickens do you have? Yeah. Then I had to tell them. At one time, I honestly had almost every breed that there was. And
well, it's addicting. It's addicting. You want the whole rainbow of the eggs, you know? You're like, oh, blue ones, green ones.
We'll have that tonight on our website. We'll have rainbow mix hatching eggs. So if you buy them from us, and then by the time you hatch them or whatever, you'll have, I think, every color of egg except for maybe a pink. So, and I haven't figured out the genetics on a pink egg yet. So,
okay. That's cool.
So I'll send you a dozen. You'll get a brown, a white, a green, an olive, a dark, and then whatever else I throw in there. So
yeah, so that'll be neat. That'll be exciting for people.
Yeah. So
yeah, that'll definitely.
I don't usually sell chicken eggs as hatching eggs because we have so many incubators that we just been hatching chicks ourselves. Yeah. But I don't want to ship live chicks, so I think we ship eggs. I could ship live chicks. The pricing, I don't know. I guess hatcheries get like a large discount because of the quantity they ship. Yeah. Because like for me to ship one box is $100. And
I don't know either. I've never shipped anything live, but I'll just tell you, I shipped a Pace Acre sweatshirt to New Mexico. Yeah. One sweatshirt. And just went to the post office because I don't have anything set up yet. Yeah. And it was $16 to mail a sweatshirt, the cheapest rate. Yeah. And I thought, boy, I don't know. There's got to be another way, another something. I don't know how it works.
It's got to be volume. I mean, I haven't talked. Well, I talked to that hatchery at the expo, and she said that she could, we'd talk about it, but she said she didn't think they got a discounted rate. But then when I told her how much it cost me, she was like, oh, you definitely get something then.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Because a lot of them
Craig, let's if you don't mind, let's pivot. Yeah. Let's jump into so the title of this whole deal is How Being a Poultry Farmer Almost Bankrupt Me.
Yeah.
So I think that's intriguing. It's eye opening to a lot of us. So if you don't mind, let's jump into that and see exactly what you mean from that. What at
the beginning we talked about scaled economics almost basically, and we also talked about $10 a dozen eggs. So for me to buy a chick, to get a baby chick, it costs anywhere from $3 to $5. If you go to Tractor Supply, upwards to $10. And then how much we got to put 50 pounds worth of feed in that over the next 6 months into that one baby chick. And that could be a pullet, or if you buy a straight run, it could be a rooster. And roosters don't lay eggs. So how many? So 50% of the time, ideally we get a hen. So you could approximately have $20 into a chicken. And then you have 100 pounds worth of food, and I'm at 52 cents a pound right now is what I'm paying for high quality feed. 52 cents a pound for starter feed. And so you have approximately $26 plus your $10, $30. You have about $40 into them as soon as they start laying. That's before your infrastructure. So I had to buy coops. Yeah. I had to buy waters. I had to buy feeders. I had to buy brooders. I had to buy bedding. So, and I bankrolled this by myself. I had no grants, no loans. Well, man, I have a little credit card that I've been trying to gain my credit back from running it. So
yeah.
But like, I started building all that infrastructure going. First coop I had, $1,200, I think, was a cheap end.
Yeah.
I think he sells them for $1,800 now, and that's it. He's got a waiting list because he's cheaper than anybody else at $1,800.
Yeah. Wow.
So, and that'll only hold about 10 chickens or so. So, but the guy replaced it for free, which was cool. He just did it for like, so that was a blessing in disguise, I guess. But I lost all the chickens that were in there that time when the tornado came through. So we were the only place that got hit by the tornado.
Oh,
so,
my goodness.
Like my neighbor didn't get hit, nobody else. So, and it was crazy, but I digress on that part because it was a blessing in disguise. It grew us. It made us a better community. I got a lot of hookups from people, whatever.
Yeah.
You can go the cheap route. They call it, I don't know if you've ever like YouTube cheap chicken coops, like hoop coops.
Yeah,
they used
right.
They used to call it a $50 chicken coop, right? But with materials now, I think a panel is $26 and you need 3 of them. So you're looking at about $300 for a hoop coop now. And that's for, if you build it yourself, I think you can probably get out for $250, $300.
So I'm gonna throw a shameless plug in for my own self, but I on Pace Acre, my YouTube channel, I show my chicken coop in one of my videos on there. Yeah. And I was and listen, I will pinch pennies, I will go on Marketplace, and I'm at not even the addition because there's actually 2 coop I added onto it, but that main coop I was $1,000 doing everything by myself. Basically, I built a machine shed. Yeah. And then, made it into a coop, but it's pretty nice. Like I said, it's like a shameless plug, but I get what you're saying. Like if you go and buy one, and not to mention people they took advantage. I mean, people are entrepreneurs. I can't blame them. They say, everybody wants to get into chickens. Everybody wants this, a 5-bird coop all day long, Tractor Supply, or what, $1,000?
Well, yeah.
$700.
So we did. We'll talk about that too. But I did a rent-a-coop program last year. So
yeah. But I interrupt you. Sorry, on your train of thought. So you're basically explaining like how it almost bankrupted you because where would you say you're at for one bird? $40. Almost.
Yeah. Right at $40, give or take. So
wow.
Before you get one chicken. So people, how many eggs does a chicken lay every day?
Yeah.
1.
Maybe. Yeah, right.
Maybe. Okay.
At peak. At peak.
At peak. That is correct. So I say if you have 4 hens, you'll get a dozen a week at 4 hens.
Okay.
So that's 40, 80, $160 hen that lays you a dozen eggs a week. For, I don't know, probably 30, just say 30 weeks out of the year. There's still, 26 weeks that it doesn't?
Oh, yeah, they're freeloading.
Yeah, well, I mean, my math on that was wrong. But anyways, they're freeloaders during the winter.
Yeah.
And that's when you got to feed them more. You got to water them more because the ice is, or the water's freezing.
Yeah, the water's froze. It's a thing.
Anyways, it's just a lot of love. So people want to pay. At that time, I was selling my eggs for $3 a dozen. There's no profit in that. So I had to pay all that money out, and I was getting nothing back. So, like I said, I bankrolled it.
Yeah.
When I got into, I had a random message on our Facebook because that's where my page started as my wife crocheteds, and it was It was Beam Farm Creations.
Okay.
She had started crocheting blankets, and I had started welding some horseshoes together. And then we're like, hey, we're going to just change it to Beam Farm, and we're going to talk about farming. So some lady added us from Virginia. Her name is Betty Jo, and she was like, hey, have you ever looked into Quaternic quail?
Oh, nice.
I was like, no. I said, that's crazy. I said, nobody ever buy Quaternic quail. And she was like, what do you mean? She said, there's a whole page that's dedicated to them. It's called Quaternic Corner. And I was like, okay, I'll look at it, whatever. And I was like, nobody wants
that page.
Yeah. You never heard of it, or you have?
No. I think I follow it. I'm sure I
Okay.
did.
Yeah, it's called Katrina's Quarter. And so I said, okay, I'll look into it. So I did some hardcore research, and My Shire Farm has a lot of videos on YouTube. Now there's lots of us out there that are doing it or whatever in the past 5 or 6 years. New people that are very educated. There's new genes coming up. Anyways, I put on my local Facebook group. I was like, anybody raise quail for business? And then somebody commented, yeah, I do. And they were in Choctaw, which is the next town over.
Yeah.
I was like, cool, can we talk? And so we talked, blah, blah, blah. I bought my first coop in like 3 weeks. Cost me $450, came with 18 birds. And I didn't know it, like how to sex them. I was like, how do you tell the gender on this? The guy was like, this has red breast as a rooster. These one was spotted are hens, and they should be laying any day now. I said, okay, great. Well, I didn't look at them quail when he gave them to me, the 18. I think 12 of them were roosters. So I bought 18. Anyways, so like I said, roosters.
You bought dinner for a couple nights.
Yeah. So anyways, I've the reason I say I almost bankrupt is I didn't make all the smart decisions. That's why I'm so bluntly honest with people is that, hey, I'm teaching you what totally screwed me up.
Yeah.
So anyway.
No, and I think that's good, man, because that's what my channel is about. It's kind of multifaceted, but one of them is you don't have to have, and I know you don't have a giant farm either.
No,
we don't have to have 500 acres or 50 acres, or even 100. I have one, and I've got a beef cow over there. I've got chickens. I've got rabbits. I have a garden. A house, a place for the kids to play. Like it's you don't need millions of dollars to do this and enjoy it.
No, but that startup budget, they say how to make $1 million on chicken is to start out $2 million.
Yeah, that's good. That's really, that goes with a lot of that's really good. But
when we got into quail, we realized that a dozen quail eggs sell for $4 a dozen.
Wow.
So
yeah, and those little things lay like crazy.
They start laying at 6 weeks old. So 6 months, 6 weeks, better. $4 a dozen, $3 a dozen, better.
Yeah.
Like
something that makes sense.
Yeah. So anyways, remember that guy I talked to him, he said, yeah, I do it for business. Well, he's also in the military. Russia bombed Ukraine. He's in the military. He got orders to go somewhere to help the Ukrainians operate on our equipment. So he had to sell everything. I went to sleep at like 8 o'clock. I woke up that morning and I seen he posted everything for sale.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what's going on? My wife is like, hey, did you see this? And I was like, yeah. I said, but we don't have the money because that's crazy. He probably wants $5,000 for he had 400 birds. He had $1,000 incubator and 200. He had a lot of equipment. So I was like, hey. So I messaged him. I was like, hey, I need to make a deal with you. Let's talk. Blah, blah, blah. He gave me a really good deal. Sold me the incubator on payments, 352 egg incubator, but that was my first large incubator.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, gave me a contract at Woods with that. So I hatch all the quail for Atwoods whenever.
I didn't even. I don't know you that well. I've talked a few times, but I didn't know you had that contract. That's exciting.
Yeah, and so I work with a couple hatcheries and a couple large. Well, actually, I have such a high local demand that I can't keep up with Atwoods. So I haven't delivered to Atwoods since the beginning of last year in February.
Okay.
So, and then I was going to get back into it this year because I thought it was so crazy that I couldn't sell no birds. I was like, because it usually picks up right in February, and I was like, it was slow. So I was about to get into Atwoods and go back to them and start selling. I had my account set up, and then boom, it took off again. And I don't have any quail eggs in the incubator at all right now. So,
wow.
Because I've sold out or whatever and gone from there. Just busy.
So what I'm hearing is I'm hearing some scalings in the future is what I'm hearing.
Well, that's what our goal is every day, every time. So
Yeah.
that's what, like, scaling every day. Well, not every day, but on our channel, we're building another chicken coop. Even though the chickens are not profitable, the chickens are a gateway to the people getting quail.
No, 100%. 100%.
So they're like, hey, you have chickens? And I'll be like, yes, but you need quail. And so I'll sell them some chickens, and I'll also, because if there is a lot of people that want chickens still, even though they know, they're like, oh, I don't sell my eggs because I give them to my neighbor, or I just take them to my friends at work, or it's also just like not even for profit. Okay.
So a quick side note with us and chickens, my wife was scared of them. Actually. Yeah. And you wouldn't know that now. You've seen her out there, but I mean, sure, yeah, you wouldn't know that now.
If you go look my very first YouTube video, it's called "Man Dances with Goat," and that was the first day I took my girlfriend at the time, my wife, to the farm, and she was scared of the goat. She was so scared of them. So
that's in the thick of. So you get it. But what it was is even out here, because we're out in the middle of pasture in the Ozark Mountains, and even with mowed grass, you would go out across our yard and you'd get a tick or a chigger on you.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm like, hey, chickens, get rid of that stuff. So that was the whole thing with us. And it is the gateway drug. I mean, as far as homesteading. Yeah. Yeah.
But I want to change that for people, because I want people to be smart with their decisions. So
I like it.
That's kind of the purpose of my channel. And last year I fell off of it. I was producing, I was going. It was so busy I couldn't stop because of the egg shortage, and it was just, and I couldn't even post the content that I wanted because I didn't have the time to think. Then my wife was doing a surrogacy for somebody, and we were having a baby, and she had a few complications during the time. Yeah. I don't know. And at the time, I got banned from that Katernick's Corner page because a lady didn't like me. She said, I called them MyShire haters. Remember, I said there was a page called MyShire? Yeah. So they were haters of MyShire, and I said that. And I was like, hey, you're a MyShire hater. Just, like, don't talk bad about him. And I got blocked for it. I've been back on the page. I'm not as active as I was. But believe it or not, that was like a great point of, like, that's where newbies go. And that's where, like, that was a great. So I still have my repeat customers and stuff like that. But I really I want new customers all the time. So yeah, that's my goal, is to get, I'm back on the Katernick's, but I'm not as active, and I probably never will be. So
well, for anybody that sees this stuff on my pages and my channel, is that that's something that I seen from you. Is I mean, you live it, you breathe it. Like this isn't just a game, or you're not playing chicken and quail guy. Like, this is your thing. This is your deal. You're passionate about it, and that's what it takes. Yeah. Because this is what you described with the financial side of things. Like, if I figured up how much I have in cheeseburger, my beef out there, I mean, you could probably go and buy a Wagyu. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe not that bad, but really, like, it's not. Yeah. I'm not doing it. I'm doing it more for one. I know where the food comes from. Correct. Right, and then and that's that, and the self-sufficiency thing. That's a huge thing.
So if you have what Joel Salatin calls them town jobs. You know, so if you have a town job still, it's great. Okay. And you don't have to think about that, because they say there's 100. I think the statistic is they found 150 DNAs in one 10-pound chub of ground beef.
Oh yeah, I know. Yes. So, that's right. Yeah.
I think that is the correct. So instead, if you go to one of our local people or whatever, they're only butchering one cow at a time. So
yeah, exactly.
But it also took 2 years for it to be there or whatever.
Oh, I know. So, yeah.
The point isn't necessarily that. I understand that it almost bankrupted me in the beginning, but as of now, I'm so successful that I've turned that over now, and it's actually great taxes. I mean, that kind of helps because everything is a write-off, even if you're losing or whatever. But
yeah, right.
So, that was one of the first things our accountant said was he's like, oh, great, you're filing as a farm. He said, we can show you how, or he said, you can have a loss in almost every year. And they know that farmers don't make that much money. And I'm like, oh, that's great. I mean,
yeah. Yeah, and that's not being dishonest. It's just the absolute truth. Like I saved my receipts last year, and I didn't sell anything, so I didn't really have to itemize anything.
Yeah.
But I told my wife, I said, you know, if we add this stuff up, I said, I might just come home and sell every animal on this place. I said, so I better not even add it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still in a folder, but yeah, I mean, but what you're doing and what I'm doing is different. So like you said, I've got, like Joe Saltan said, I have the town job.
Yeah.
So I'm still, and my wife does also, and it is more of a hobby. That being said, with my social media, I'm wanting to show it, just like you're wanting to teach people the pitfalls and stuff. I'm sharing everything as well. Like, hey, this is what I did. This is what I shouldn't have done. You know, those kind of things. Just being real, because that's what I think the people are hungry for is authenticity. Whether you're raising quail or you're planting your garden,
correct?
It's just got to be real, and that's what I appreciate about you over at Beam Farm and your content over there. So, yeah,
I mean, we could go on for hours and hours about it, but I've learned over the years, like, how to be profitable, even at a small scale. And I think that I don't want everybody to be a hobby farmer. I want them to at least be able to maybe pay for their own feed or pay for their eggs. Yeah. So in the meantime, I would like for them to learn that you can sell a dozen eggs for anywhere from now about $5 to $6 a dozen at a farmer's market, 3 to 5 local pickup or whatever around my area. But you could hatch a dozen eggs and sell them for $1 a chick, which is dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Straight run, barnyard mix. So that means you probably got $10 a dozen. So
that's good. No, that's good. And that's simple math that people don't think about.
So that's why I don't sell eating eggs unless I'm just swimming in them, which I don't have that many chickens to ever swim in them.
Yeah.
But I'm also working with a college that I help people get grant money. So there's a college working on a PhD program. I submitted all the paperwork saying, hey, they're going to buy eggs from me at this much. And they got $5,000 to spend on grant money. So they bought them a $1,000 incubator or $1,300. They bought a nice EQF, and then they come and buy eggs from us every week. They even needed to spend the money, so they were like, hey, take all the money, and then we'll come back for the next couple of weeks because we're getting close to the end of school or whatever.
That's really cool.
And we need to do, like, whatever, P&Ls.
Well, I know like the hip term is gatekeepers or whatever people like to say, and I like hearing that you're trying to actually show people how to be successful at it.
No, so there's a lot of genetics in the quail world that changes, like different genetics, and I'm always like, hey, I like that. Where did you come up with it? I don't necessarily want to like sell their genetics or whatever, but I'm like, I like that. So how can I work with you? And
that's very cool.
Because that could be like that progressive pied. That I have a friend that sent me them eggs for free. And we've been working on that line now, and now we're working on me and him are working on a different project on that, and we'll be the only people, as far as we know, in the world that have them birds. So
that's neat. You've been giving us some sneak peeks on your Beam Farm Facebook page of that white. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's the progressive pied. So that bird hatched out completely white. And then you've seen it gets darker brown, and then by the time it's like keeps molting, it changes colors, changes patterns. That's why it's called progressive. And we're also doing it the reverse. They'll hatch out black, and then they'll go changing colors from black. So,
now I gotta admit that sounds pretty fun. That sounds fun when you get to that level.
If you come to me about genetics, I'll be able to tell you I'm the worst about it because there's so many like terms and genetics that I can't tell. Like there's a Italian, blah blah blah. Anyways, I'm not your genetics expert by any means. Yeah. I'll tell you that first. I got a lot of crap about that, but I'm in it for my main customers are meat and eggs.
Yeah.
Okay. Meat and eggs, and that's what I'm going to
talk about. That. So you're talking about the quail for eggs, and they lay eggs in 6 weeks, but they're also delicious, and they're also ready to eat in 6 weeks.
8 weeks, yeah.
8 weeks, yeah. So I mean, you want to talk about a homestead survival food? Quail and rabbits, those, and I mean, but the thing is, there's no money. You're not ever gonna make any money in rabbits. I mean,
I was gonna say I've done the math on rabbits, and there's no money in rabbits.
I was gonna say there might be somebody in the comments that could tell us different, but from what I know about it, and I love them. I have rabbits here. They're delicious. That they're actually so easy. I know we're not here to talk about rabbits, but they are easy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no incubation or anything. So if you just want something for food, go for it. But if you want something to actually be able to sustain itself, quail and chickens, I don't even know, because I know a guy down here that started an organic egg house, like a giant commercial scale. And if he's not selling his eggs for $7 or $9 a dozen, his egg houses aren't profitable.
Yeah.
And he's got millions of dollars tied up, and that's just that's a whole different thing.
I think there's a show on Netflix that says the average large scale poultry producer is like 1.5 million in debt for building the contractors.
Yeah,
like contract houses.
I believe it.
And they pay the payment through Tyson or whatever, Big Ag, which is great. Like there is a place for them in our society, because small scale like me and you can't produce enough food for everybody.
No, we got to get into the hobby farmers and that kind of stuff.
But I also said in COVID, I said, what are you growing in your backyard? I used to say that I was saying that almost all the day. What are you growing? Why are you complaining about the prices when you're not growing it? What are you talking about prices? Because you're not growing it. You don't know what goes into that. No. I paid $25 today for a strawberry plant at Tractor Supply. You know how many strawberries I could buy for $25? Like I could buy several packs. That one plant will not produce me $25 worth of.
I know that's the thing.
It might only do little bitty strawberry. It might produce nothing. But like I said, $25 for a strawberry plant today. So in the end, I would say that it almost bankrupted me, but we have learned to make it self-sufficient enough to pay for itself, which that's what I was talking about. I want these people to know that, hey, in the beginning, you're not paying too much, because that's what kind of the whole point is, that we're saying, hey, it's not enough to pay $10 a dozen for eating eggs to pay for that chicken, but there is other ways that you can get around it. So, and I don't know. That's just how I feel, because I want to be able to do this, and like I don't want my children to starve because I'm trying to feed other people. That don't make no sense. Just wanted people to know that, like, I don't know, like paying the high dollar prices at the store is still not enough to help a small time farmer, because they're not scaled economics. Yeah. So I don't want my family to starve, so I'm producing for them. But it's also nice if somebody wants to come and buy from us, that I can provide for them also. But they just need to know, like, hey, this is really not, I'm not trying to rip you off. You're not trying to sell the cheeseburger. You're not trying, if you sold some beef from Cheeseburger, you have to pay a processor for USDA inspection.
It's not going to happen, because it's not in my wheelhouse, at least not at this point, right?
So in order for you to do that, if it wasn't USDA inspected, you have to give it away or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
and then that's playing in the gray area, and that's no good either, really.
yeah. And so, anyways.
Well, I do appreciate the time that we had to, to talk about this thing. And I plan on, maybe we can do some more of these and just really kind of get to the bottom of, because I like how you have the price breakdown of the pound or what you have in the feed per chicken, because that's the whole thing. I mean, this is just a little tidbit for a future episode, but is that in the price to raise a Cornish cross right now, even from the time I buy a bird until the chick, you've done it recently. I've seen it on your page. Like it's getting expensive. It's getting real expensive to do that.
That'll be the hook.
And roosters over here on Pace Acre.
that can be the hook, is how much does a Cornish cross chicken cost to put in your freezer at today's prices right now? And that's even at scale that I bought 50 birds. You can get them a little bit less and there'll be more. So.
All right. Well, that'll be a little teaser for the next one. And for now, Craig, I sure appreciate you joining us. That's Beam Farm. And I'm Danny over here at Pace Acre. So we'll catch you guys later.
All right.